Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. The three good generals are back here. We're going to talk about a very important topic. Is Trump coming unhinged? What is really going on? What took place in the last few days, or in fact, last few hours, if you will, of the US representative Wyckoff meeting Putin, as well as Ajit Doval meeting Putin, and that Putin might be coming to India by the end of the month. Lot of things to unpack here. Let's welcome the three good generals. General Ravi Shankar, General Dushyant Singh, General Rajiv Narayanan. Namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel. How are you, sir?
Namaskar. Fine.
Oh, really great.
Fine. Thank you, sir.
So, as always, we'll start the ball rolling with General Ravi Shankar. But before that, let's take a quick look at what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had to say about this ongoing talks.
अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है। किसानों की आय बढ़ाना, खेती पर खर्च कम करना, आय के नए स्रोत बनाना, इन लक्ष्यों पर हम लगातार काम कर रहे हैं।
There we go.
Here we go.
I think it's frozen, but I think the point is taken. Three sectors are not going to be disturbed. They're not going to be on. The three sectors being agriculture, dairy, and I think seafood, from what I'm understanding. General Ravi Shankar, you have a small slide deck to present. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, fine. At the outset, let me put it across. I think that Prime Minister, by this statement in the morning, has drawn the line in the sand. Right? And first and foremost, let me at the outset say, we've been discussing this Trumpomania for quite some time, and it's come to a boil. And this line in the sand is damn good. It shows a lot of national resolve. And from my own side, I think it's fantastic. Either way, I look at it, pran jaye par maan na jaye. And we are all, at this point of time, I think the whole country should be with him in what he's trying to say. He's trying to protect the weakest of this country. And I think that's a very noble thing, and we should all be with him. Having said that, let us see what's on the other side of the fence. Unless we get a clear idea as to what Trump is up to and what's happening there, USA, we'll not get an idea as to how do we respond to this man who appears unhinged. Is he unhinged or not, we'll discuss down the line. And what's his beef against India is also something which we'll all, I'm sure we'll have a talk about it. So can I have the slide, please? Yeah, this is the, today, the tariff map as you see it. All in orange are in the range of 35 to 50%. India and Brazil are at 50%. The rest are about 30% odd. The ones in blue are in the range of 15 to 25%. 15 to 20% really. These are the countries with whom he's already had a deal. And those one with, which are gray color or light brown, or whatever you call it, they're all at 10%, the base rates. China, it's at this point of time anywhere between 25 to 50%, and the deadline is coming up. And to add to that, the view about India, let's get India specific. This is from New York Times. The reaction: India, once America's counterweight to China, is now facing Trump's wrath. So he's put India and China in the same hyphenation, and he's put them on the outer. And then Trump tariffs gamble puts America's ties with India at risk. They're worried. people in America are worried. They understand the importance of India. You go past that. Sometimes, if we tend to look at everything from our perspective. You hop across to China, the Chinese media tells this: Trump hints at possible new China tariffs after imposing 25% on India. So there's something coming there. So it is this not against India, but we have to analyze the Indian situation against the larger backdrop of what is happening otherwise. Right. Now, what's the net effect of what Trump is doing? Is it only on India? Is it only on China? Is it only on Switzerland? Incidentally, Switzerland is also at 40% tariffs. Okay. It's not so. He's even tariffed America. The consumers are beginning to feel the pinch of tariffs. And this is the American Costco picture, again shown from your New York Times. Okay, we might have many views about New York Times, but the reporting is good and their analysis is better, right? Where new India tariffs could hit your kitchen cabinet. Now, this is crucial. Everyone's kitchen is going to get hit. The women of America are going to get hit. And, the worst thing you can do is hit the kitchen. And Trump is hitting them, right? And the question which is we need to answer is this: why is Trump doing? Why of Trump? Is he pushing for a hard bargain, as everyone says, or is he, kafa with India for the Op Sindoor rebuttal and his, loss of evaporation of the Nobel Prize? Is it the refusal of Prime Minister Modi to not to go to Washington at his beck and call? Is it not begging him for a deal like many others have gone, like Europe has capitulated? Is it that mistaken notion that in USA is still great when it actually the decline has started? Is it the Trump flip? After all, if you look at the what's happened between Ukraine, Russia, and Trump, there's a flip. He first berated Zelensky in his office. He wanted to be part of, he wanted to get Putin over on his side. He wanted, put Russia to get part of Ukraine. Then he wanted Russia to be part of G7. All that has come today. He's giving weapons to Ukraine and he's against Russia and he's taken off on India. So is this an indirect thing, or you see this same playbook is being applied to India, and he's got no success anywhere? Whatever the motivation, everything, one reality which we have to face, and this is a hard reality: the India-USA relationship has changed drastically. Yeah, thanks for the slides. Please take it off. Right? And these are the two realities we have to work on with. The first reality is, what is Trump's motive against India? That's the first reality and the first hard fact that we have to consider. And the second fact is that India-US strategic relationship has gone for a toss, and it's gone for a toss. Let's be very clear. And there are going to be ramifications for this. There are going to be military ramifications, diplomatic ramifications, and geostrategic and geoeconomic ramifications. And there are going to be domestic ramifications in India. So we're going to discuss all this. I've given the large picture. I'm sure General Rajiv Narayanan and General Dushyant have more to say. So this is my opening gambit. Over to you, Shreya Yarji.
Thank you so much, General Ravi Shankar. General Rajiv Narayanan, you also have a slide deck to share with us. Your initial thoughts, please.
Basic thought has been essentially that he's a megalomaniac searching for Nobel Prize, and he expects everyone to kowtow to him that when he calls, which is not the case. Maybe he got carried away initially in the Republican Party. Everybody was kowtowing to him. But when it comes to nations, like General Shankar has said, it depends on how much weight you carry and what punch the other chap carries. And to expect that India will go running to him just like Asif Munir had done, it doesn't work. It doesn't work so easily. So those are my initial thoughts as to where he's actually becoming unhinged in his besotted approach for a Nobel Prize. Imagine asking the White House press secretary to openly state in the White House press statement that he should get a Nobel Peace Prize. Tells you how far down the line he has gone, and he can see nothing else. can we have my deck, because I am taking
Yes.
a different slant.
Yes.
Because in this, while we were talking of the future global order, I think this is already pushing countries to realign themselves against this madcap, and this may come faster. You see, the ex PM of Singapore, they're the now senior minister in the cabinet, and the foreign minister, the finance minister, have openly said about world minus the US. And they're very right. They say the world can live without the US, but can the US live without the world in this age of interdependence and globalization? Having said that, let us look at this thing. I've just highlighted, which I think certain things which are likely. I haven't read the complete new tariff law that he has passed, likely exempted from tariff. Basically, what all things he expects from India, but then the other imports are also there, and the impact has been, first, the Poseidon maritime reconnaissance aircraft. 8 of them have been held on hold. That's been placed on hold. That is the first indicator to Boeing, because over 400, close to 500 aircrafts order are there from Air India, Indigo, and Akash Air. What happens if that stops? That I can't trust. So the first indicator has gone to Boeing to put, if he thinks he can put pressure. He had called Ambani, Mukesh Ambani, 2-3 times, and he made a statement today that my interest rests with the interest of the nation and the government. I will not do anything which is against the interest of the government of the country. I think that has put a spanner in his works. There are 2 US courts who have declared Trump's tariffs unauthorized stroke illegal. Like I was mentioning offline, you have the Court of International Trade, which has actually got the authority to comment on this. But some people had also gone in the month of June to the US District Court in Washington, the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. essentially. So though it doesn't have the jurisdiction to see it, it had called it illegal. They have called it unauthorized. It has gone to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has agreed with the Court of International Trade that it is unauthorized. The president doesn't have the powers. Well, that is within their country. My personal view is, yes, you might have a little disruption, but we should plan diversification into the global south. He is more worried about BRICS today. If you take GDP as per PPP, the G7 has only 26% of GDP as per PPP, whereas the BRICS nations, which are there today, have 40% of the global GDP. That means the G7, which used to be the wealthiest, has lost the clout. That is another worry that he has. And take the global south, 40% of the world's energy and transition metals are produced here. And it accounts for, the global south itself per se accounts for a third of global PPP, the adjusted DP. I have taken this from the Deutsche Bank report of May, when they were also working that way to diversify, they didn't trust Trump, and which is telling. This is Germany. So some thoughts that I have, we can discuss that. You can tax the US tax giants. Now the boxing gloves are on. The way he is behaving, tax the US tax giant like Canada has done. I have not done. I have got 50%. Canada has done. Canada has 50%. So where's the difference? Tax them. After all, they earn almost 30% of our revenue. Cancel the Boeing deals and say we are going to US. Stop all US oil. Diversify. Russia, Africa, Latin America, even go to Iran, I would say. And of course, work on getting our recoveries earliest, where we have said that these fields are there. Let us get our fields. You push for FTA with other European countries. Though, like Ursula von der Leyen may have signed the treaty with Trump, it doesn't hold any water, because the government, 27 countries, parliaments have to ratify it. I don't think it will ever get ratified. So whatever agreements he has done, even Japan won't get ratified, because he's already lost the control of his parliament. Let's get into with Europeans and others, JVs into infra, auto, aviation, maritime, that is shipbuilding, STEM education, universities, colleges. Everybody will jump. Uh, Data centers and clouds, the works are going on. Is there a case to create some of them in some special tax-free zones for long term, so that companies from outside come and make use of that, and you have control of the data? When you're looking at tourism, fine, he had gone once to Lakshadweep. Why not develop Lakshadweep as an entertainment and tourism hub? We'll get a lot of money from there. And we need our own media to start managing our own narrative. We can discuss how to go about it. But from here, because seeing the reactions, global reactions which are taking place in the world island, everybody is very concerned what to do. So I have just given three. One is a economic block. 4 blocks: the US block, Europe, there could be China, Russia, Global South, or just could be 3 with BRICS coming together. Another is a geopolitical: India with Global South, EU and allies, Russia and allies, China and allies, and US and allies. And the third, which I had said, was that it could go to a geostrategic bloc, that is Eastern Europe with Russia. Because Russia, all said and done, while he may be reaching out to us and being friendly with us, though Putin is coming end of this month, our PM is going there to China, Mr. Doval is already there, and Mr. Shankar will be going shortly towards the later part of this month before Putin's visit here. So, which is also an indicator to the other side that, look, handsome, there are much more options to us than what you may think. So, these were what I thought could have been certain things. And my feeling is these activities will hasten up in the near 2, 3, 4 years, which will hasten up faster, which we were thinking maybe take a decade plus, may become faster thanks to what Trump is doing. So I'll stop here and then we can discuss further.
Thank you so much, sir. General Dushyant, what do you make of the 2 opening statements, sir? Would you like to compliment them? Would you like to disagree with some or all of them, and why? Over to you, sir.
Okay, I won't like to disagree with them. What I would like to do is state certain realities.
I'm just stirring the pot here.
Yeah, I know, I understand that. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not trying to disagree, but I'm trying to take the discussion forward, in the sense we have to not get over this situation. General Rajiv Narayanan has given out certain strategies for us to overcome the current chaos which is being created by Trump. Look, I feel that the current Trump mania is emanating from his weak ego. I think his ego is too large for him to withstand people standing up to him. That is one. We have to look beyond Trump. That should be our long-term strategy, because Trump is going to be here only for another 3 years. Thereafter, what? So I think whatever we need to do in a short term, we manage Trump, and in the long term, we manage America. That should be our the broad strategy. Now, if you have to do that, let's see what Trump has done. Trump has put 50%. Everybody knows. But what does it mean? Why has he done it? He has done it because we export $52 billion worth of oil from Russia. That's a big money, right? Total trade of the trade deficit is about 40 billion. So he looks at between India and America is about 40 billion, 45 billion. So he looks at this 52 billion trade which we are doing from Russia as a big money which is being funded back to Russia for funding the Ukraine war. The second thing which he's looking at is our insistence on creating BRICS as an alternative. Now BRICS is hurting him a lot. Right from the day when the BRICS meeting took place, he has been after it, even without understanding what the BRICS is all about. He has kept on talking about BRICS as some kind of, if they do de-dollarization, I'm going to sanction them, etc., etc. So my take is that geopolitically, these are the 2 major reasons why he is after India. India, in my view, see, he has to target Russia, he has to target China, and he has to target India. Amongst these 3, he finds that India is probably a soft target. and he can get away by punching India. It is good that India has stood up to this bully, because if any bully, when you stand up to him, he whimpers away with the tail behind his back. So, for starters, look at the indication. He says window is 21 days, so it takes him to 27 days. So the team is coming for negotiations on 24th or 25th of August. He's giving time for India to back out, or to kind of cave down. I think India should continue to stand the way it is going ahead. That is one. The second thing, it has excused certain areas where it feels that it is vulnerable, like for example, pharma and electronics. Now, these are the indications of a person who is wanting to take hard decisions, but he's unable to do because he has also got some things to grind. So some interest which he has to secure. I think we need to leverage our smaller leverages which we have with US to ensure that this man does not go totally berserk. That's point number 3. Next, what I feel is that what India should do, in my view, diversify. And diversify means what General Rajiv Narayanan has said. Look at newer markets. We have the impact of the tariff. Suppose if he levies 50% tariff, the impact is going to be a loss about 40 to 50% of our exports from US. Now that's the loss which we will suffer, which has to be compensated. So let's look at new markets. Let's look at the FTAs. Why don't we expand the existing FTA? India, UK, India, UAE, so India, Australia. We have a number of FTAs which we have already signed with various countries. Let's expand that. So if we expand that, why only restricted to whiskey here? Let's go beyond the whiskey and see if there is a possibility of further expanding these FTAs. Then you have the BRICS. I think we should now start giving him signals that we are open to rupee trade. We are open to trade with between BRICS and some other currency, maybe gold. I don't know. I mean, we can discuss each and every option and see which is the best option for trade. He'll get hit, and with Lula already smarting under 50% tariff, he's going to be a big help in our counter isolation of USA. I think USA will slowly and steadily get isolated on this point. He will be shooting on his foot if he continues to do this particular trajectory. He is already having internal headwinds, a huge amount of internal headwinds against this particular step of his. We need to also uh, do a startup roll up. I think our startups have to be supported. If need be, the government must invest to protect our exporters, in the sense, give them incentives, find new markets for them, move your diplomacy away from USA. I mean, we have done enough of USA cozying up. We will continue to work towards getting a negotiation, but at the same time, our exporters have to be also, Prime Minister Modi gave a statement that we will keep our farmers and fishery interest intact. We will not go against it, but we also need to ensure that our exporters are also not harmed. I think that particular statement needs to come from the Prime Minister or the concerned government agencies. Then, if you look at the Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense. You see, the whole danda is about defense industry. Today we are 65% indigenous. Of course, component wise, if you take, maybe we are lesser, but overall figures are 65%. We are indigenous. We are dependent on ourselves. It is the 35%. I think by what General Rajiv Narayanan said, that cancelling of 8 of these P8Is, it's the move which will really hurt them so badly that the defense industries of the America is now going to put pressure on the Trump administration to get back or roll back. Then we also need to have the geopolitical edge. Now, in geopolitics, in my opinion, while we say that we are neither with the north, we are neither with the south, or we are neither with the west or neither with the east, I think now we have to show our hands very clearly. Whosoever is our friend, we are with them. That should be our attitude. And if need be, if we are getting a good deal, of course, with a caution. I'm not saying that you blindly jump into somebody's side. No. If we are getting a good deal with China, go ahead, do a deal with China. But with that trust factor keeping in mind. If you get good deal with Russia, go ahead and keep doing that. Option 3 is structural reforms. It is time now. This is the opportunity now for us to actually do our reform. Earlier we do our reforms in the economic domain. Better it will be for us. Otherwise, we will. In fact, I call it as a wake up call. It's good that India is put under such a challenge, because you found that India only performs when it gets a wake up call. Whether it is Pahalgam, whether it is Kargil, whether it is 62, we start improving ourselves once we get a wake up call. This is a wake up call. Consider it as a war and go ahead and do it. R&D. Why are we hesitating? Invest in R&D. I mean, if the private players want it, give it to them. Startup wanted, give it to them. I was the other day in IIT. I was amazed to see the number of startups who are there. You will not believe it. If we really fund them, so what if, let's say, 80% of them fail? The 20% who succeed might come up with such ingenious solutions for us, which may not even really, need us to go and depend on somebody. Semiconductors is one area I feel this is the time now to push it forward. Not only just depend on 76,000 crore. That is the amount which they have listed for as semiconductor mission. Why only 76,000 crore? Cut it off from somewhere. Give more than 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. We have to focus on critical areas which are making us vulnerable. Today we are vulnerable because we are not having the capability to produce chips. We don't have the capability to we don't have the rare earth required in the right numbers. Exploration has to be given a greater push. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to start looking for solution while we are standing up to US. Counter tariffs. Put tariffs on things which he's thinking, he's fraying it. No, we will put tariffs. What happens is a counter tariff is also a good way to send some messages. If identify sectors, put counter tariff, let him also roll under and smelter under it. So what if you got only 3.86% as our total US share of trade? But ultimately it will help. It will hurt them. Suppose we put a tariff on food products, it is going to hurt him. Food products tariff is going to hurt him. Then we stop taking these genetically. Today we are having almost 2,400 odd crore worth of imports of genetically modified food, etc. from US. Why should we take it? Let's put a tariff on that. I think that we also need to become a little offensive in our approach. And last thing which I would like to say is that counter isolation has to be there. We need to ensure that we do not get isolated in this geopolitical game. And for this, our diplomacy has to change. Let me tell you, only confrontation will not work. We need to start finding new friends and partners. I'll stop here, and as we go ahead, we can further discuss these issues.
Thank you so much, General Dushyant Singh. And viewers, a lot of people inside the Republican Party itself are not very comfortable with the goings on. For example, former governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, has said that it's a big mistake on part of Trump to go after a friend like India. And CNN had some very tough questions. Believed to be one of the architects of this tariff policy, the other one being Robert Lighthizer. And Navarro also is batting defensively. And in fact, you will notice that after this blowback, also after that inconvenient question posed by an ANI reporter to Trump about the American government or America, buying uranium from Russia, he just deadpan saying that, oh, I don't know about that, but he has not clarified. So that has made him to probably take a bit of a reality check, and now he is saying that he's going to increase the tariffs on China too. Be that as it may, tariffs are not the only solution. And viewers, tomorrow at 9 a.m. I'm going to have Mohan Kumar Sonti, who has done the math on how these things work. Trade balance, how to achieve it. Where did the US go wrong? So we are going to take a little bit of a Purva Paksha at US itself. Both of us are US citizens, and we are going to take a look at US itself. Look, you have gone wrong here. Let's first fix it here, rather than keep saying that tariffs will fix everything for us. So So you're getting a 360-degree view here with the good generals, and tomorrow we're going to have more with numbers and data, and you'll get a good idea of how this is all playing out. Now, generals, if I may suggest, we have a lot of questions, and a lot of things can come out by way of answering these questions. If you would let me go, I'd like to go to the questions right away.
No. We can go.
Yeah,
to
yes, sir. Go ahead,
questions.
sir. One
Initially,
concluding thing from all of you. One concluding round from all of you. Yeah.
See, initially I just gave out the overview of what the story is. So let me put across a few points which
Yeah.
are pretty important. First and foremost, in this whole story, one has to look at it from a short-term perspective and a long-term perspective. It's just not that what you can do and what you can't do. What are the options? We all know. It'll come out. It's not a thing, and I go completely with what General Narayanan and General Dushyant have said. But I'll put it in a slightly different manner. What's the short-term perspective? Short-term perspective is defensive. You have to defend your poor people. You have to defend your guys who are vulnerable. You have to defend your economy. And you have to take stock as to what you can do immediately and not do. Okay. And in that, what so far has come out is, even in the worst case scenario, your GDP will take a hit by about 1%. But it still places you at the fastest growing economy. Right? That's the first thing which you have to understand. Second, that whatever Trump is doing is going to hammer everyone else. So everyone else also is going to be in pain, and that gives you an opportunity. Because then all the people who are suffering from what this fellow is doing will then like what Narayanan came out. You have options open up quite a bit. Okay. Then the issue is that look, today, like I said, that strategic relationship with China is gone. 25 years of hard work, this chap has put it in the swimming pool, in the bathtub, everything. Right. That's a bad situation. To redevelop that trust is not going to be easy between India and USA. Same thing with China. China, you already lost the trust. Is China an alternative? It's not. And if you see the internal writings of China, and right up till today morning, they're not welcoming you. They still want to use you. Their concept of a win-win is China wins. China wins and China wins. Everyone else loses. So any formulation with China is laced with problems. Right? It's not going to be easy. Some marginal things you can do, but there are a lot of angles to this whole story, which we need to be realistic about. That leaves you with Global South, EU, Southeast Asia, and Middle East. Definitely, you have to start looking at all this, and of course, Russia as to how much. Can you make a great alignment without these two powers? It's difficult, right? So, can you front a power thing? It's very difficult. So, it's going to be a little difficult to get into any of these alignments without USA. And one more thing, let's not forget, Trump has a habit of flipping. He's a flip master. So he will chicken out against anyone or everyone. He might even chicken out against us. But that doesn't leave us at any great position, because this fundamental thing, this strategic relationship has gone for toss. You can't rely on Trump, USA anymore for the balance of his term. And I don't know whether the next president who comes will be able to correct it. Will have the political capability to correct this whole story. I also don't trust the US industrialists to put it past. You just saw how Tim Cook of Apple keeled over. If you look at the American media, they're quite derogatory the way they say, Tim Cook has kissed, what. So I think there is an issue which we have to understand, that at this point of time, we are a bit into uncharted territory. Okay, without knowing. We can do a lot of things. There's no problem. We need to be prepared to take a hit. A hit is coming. Let's be prepared for it. And let's prepare for that hit. What do? You have to do reforms. It's nice to say we'll trade with this, that, and all that. But you have to do ease of business. Right? Unless your ease of business and rules and regulations and fundamental laws change, no one is going to do business with us. One of the reasons why we've not been able to do business is because of reforms, which we did in 91. After that, not many reforms have happened. Otherwise, FDI has not come. A lot of things. FDI, in fact, has gone down. Your industrialization has not gone up. Right? Why? So there are fundamental issues within. Now, I think honestly we have to sit, because the solutions to many of these things are within. Unless we do the hard work inside, nothing is going to go up. Okay. As far as this tariffs and exports to USA and all are concerned, of all the trade which we do with USA, like it has been brought out, only 50% of this trade is going to be taxed. The rest 50% is not going to be tariffed. Right? Pharma, electronics and all not going to be tariffed. It is the rest 50%. So it's, if you take that out, you're actually what they're going can tariff from your exports and what their imports are at balance. So it's not a bad idea to start tariffing them and hike the tariff even more. So let him do what he wants. And there are US vulnerabilities. There are huge vulnerabilities in US. It's not as if that they're foolproof. Like what has said Boeing, Airbus, and these are only the not Boeing, Airbus, P-81. It's not only that, there are other defense equipment which are on the anvil. Okay, there is this fundamental thing geopolitically. It's not only India needs USA. USA also needs India. What about Quad? What about this? What about that? The whole lot of things will start coming in. What about IMEC? What about all this? Is he going to destroy all that? You have to start showing your cards. I'm sure it will happen. It's not as if it's not going to happen. So I think there is still, a lot of smoke as to and fog as to how things are going to pan out. Things are not clear. And in all this, that trade delegation is still coming here. Whether it will come here or not, we don't know. Our Prime Minister is going to SCO on 31st. Right? Then will Trump come for Quad? A lot of issues on the table. So we're going to be, we should be monitoring this and see how it pans itself out. But I'll get back to the basic, what we started with. Our Prime Minister has drawn a line in the sand. And that message would have gone across by now to USA. And it'll have its effect. Let's see how it comes out. And let's not also forget TACO. TACO will happen. Let's be patient about it. Okay, yes. Let's be patient. One shouldn't this thing. TACO will happen. Okay. Right. So this is my views. I thought I'll put it across for what it's worth. Now I'm with you. We can take questions.
Yes. Before we go, I think it's only fair that I also allow the other two good generals also to weigh in.
Please.
General Rajiv, I have a question.
Subscribe to what both General Shankar and General Dushyant have said, that you need your reforms. We are too socialistic in doing our business. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way in today's world. If you want business to come in, you've got to modify rules, cancel certain rules and regulations, bring in new laws, and that should have been done day before yesterday. That's the urgency. Like General Dushyant said, it's a wake-up call. Yeah, it's a wake-up call. Number two, as far as I personally feel that quite a lot of pressure he's facing from his the agricultural MNCs and the pharma and dairy, they have funded him. And I think precisely for this reason, Switzerland has walked out of the trade deal. Switzerland also doesn't need any dairy or agriculture from him. And he's just trying to push his dairy and agriculture with everybody else. Europe doesn't need it. And that is the reason why people are shouting against Ursula von der Leyen, that why she has done it, because they've said, you're not authorized. And the most telling, which I read a little just before we started this, I don't know, the basis of their study, where Bank of America says that the US is at a risk of losing $41 trillion from the money which will flee US because of this kind of tariff war that this Trump is doing. Now, what is the basis of that report? I've not been able to find out. I was actually searching for that when we logged in, that what is the basis of the report. They've just made a terse comment, but unless you read the report, you can verify, because it is not as if the stock markets have tanked. Yes, the normal disruptions that any stock market, not that our stock market has tanked, the normal disruptions that are there. Our industrialists have stood with the government, except for one. Most of the opposition parties have stood with the government, that yes, nation comes first. Now that is a telling blow to Mr. Trump, and how soon he tackles, let us see.
Thank you so much, General Rajiv Narayanan and General Dushyant. I have one question, sir. You have your statement. I have one question directed at all three of you. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, quickly, 5 points. Diversify. Pivot to ASEAN, Africa, Latin America, negotiate with Australia, Japan. Counter tariffs. You have to levy counter tariffs to show your intent that you mean business. Otherwise, no negotiations will succeed. We'll be only looking at how to give more and get a deal. No, Atmanirbhar Bharat has to be put on a fast track if you want to do a long-term strategy for dealing with such superpowers who go berserk suddenly. Counter isolation, geopolitical isolation. I think we need to continuously work on creating other options for us. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I was amazed to see that in Delhi, people are going down to the level of think tanks, trying to have a some kind of a cooperation. Poland, Australia, South Korea, they have all contacted me for a MOU for cooperation. So if Quad is not functioning, countries of the Quad are there always on the option. So I think this is the way we need to go ahead and expand our existing FTAs. What I'm saying is, short term, manage the crisis. Long term, go for deeper reforms, economic reforms, which will help you achieve a status of India, what it visualizes at 2047. Thank you.
Thank you so much, General Dushyant. And all three of you gentlemen, first, I'll ask general question. It's important. We have realized that India has an opportunity now. It stands at the cusp of greatness, if you will, because if India can execute some of the plans of Atmanirbharta, and already they've shown that their weapons are second to none. There is a small gap here. Let's say that there is a lot of demand from other countries for BrahMos and Akash and all that stuff. Do you think India can ramp it that quickly without help from other countries? I mean, Atmanirbharta could be that you are good at putting things together, but how much is India still dependent on some basic starting material to accomplish, let's say, a big increase in defense orders? I'll start with General Ravi Shankar and then onwards with the other two.
See, let's be very practical about it. It's not easy to ramp up these defense orders. If you try to do it, it will take 5 to 10 years. That's the minimum, right? And and whether you like it or not, we don't make everything of everything. They might be indigenous, they might be Atmanirbhar, but you don't make everything of everything.
Yes.
So it's not easy. It's good. We'll get defense orders, right? Even in that, do we have a clarity of these? We don't have. We should know when we talk that we can ramp up defense orders, what's the ground reality? We've still not got a system of how to garner these defense orders, how to use them for your geopolitical issues, how to do military diplomacy out of it, how to get geopolitical value out of it. We don't have this concept. Till you get that, it's not easy. And we talk of defense orders. I mean, again, practicality. What is the defense orders you got today so far? 2 items fundamentally: Akash and BrahMos, and a few others, ships and this and patrol boats and ships and all that. You're just on the starting blocks for that. You need to put your organization. That's why what both of them said is very important. Reforms. Part of reforms is this. Unless you do these fundamental reforms and you put fundamental blocks into place, defense reforms and defense exports are far away. we should know where we stand. That's why I said, unless you have be realistic about all this, we will not go where we this thing. But is there promise in it? 100%. 100%. There's no doubt about it. Is there, like, that's what we discussed today. Why did Philippines come here? You heard the Philippines president saying, we trust the Brahmos, we like Brahmos, or people like Brahmos, that's why we've come here. Right? It is only not defense, your culture, your many other connects, your soft power. So you have to have a policy of mixing your hard power with your soft power. And like what someone else had brought out, your diplomacy. You see, if you want to go up the value chain, you need a whole lot of diplomacy. And currently our MEA is not equipped to handle this. If you do what you are doing, you will go incrementally up. You will not go revolutionarily up. Right? So I think there's a whole lot of things we have to do before. Options are there, but we need to do a lot of fundamental things. And that is what we need to do. That's why I said the short term is defensive in nature. And it is that defensive thing, what you do is the basic foundational structure you put. Reforms. Are you getting into reforms 2.0 in a big way? Like what you did in 91. After that, the reforms have been incremental. But today you're at a stage whether you have the political capability to undertake major reforms. And for that, you need internal political unison. If not anyone, you need to have everyone on the same page. Otherwise, this will also not go forward. So there are issues. While Trump can be what he is, India first is what we need to think of.
Thank you, General Ravi Shankar. General Rajiv.
I agree with him because as long as you have your DDP with a bureaucrat within the MOD, I don't think you'll be able to increase your capacities, to put it bluntly. The DDP needs to be, it's a caged bird, it needs to be released. When they are there, then they will be doing everything and they will be able to get things done. But as long as it is caged with the MOD, I don't think they will be able to deliver. And that is where you're getting in the private industry. But the MOD curbs it with the negative list. You can't do this, A, B, C, D, foreign sales. When you do that, why will anybody spend billions of dollars into creating his infrastructure for defense when he can't sell? So that is point one. And as far as the reforms are concerned, you're at the cusp. You may have done certain things the way you were earlier. Now you can't do it. So I would say 2-3 reforms. You need your fiscal and economic reforms. Yes. MEA, it's too small. It's understaffed. If you're going to look at yourself to become big, where are the boots available to the MEA to do it? It's not there. Number 3, we keep talking of military diplomacy. Are you equipped within your services to be a military diplomat? I have been a military diplomat. Not. You got to look at I would say, look at the American way of foreign area officers. Train them, get them to be sitting there, use them. Because as you are rising, military diplomacy is also going to increase. You cannot do the same thing the way you were doing it. You got to bring in specialists for military diplomacy. I know how much I had to slog for doing what I had to do. It's not easy. Military diplomacy is not easy. Just because a man is in uniform, he doesn't become a military diplomat. It takes a lot of effort for him to become a military diplomat. So these major structural reforms, when you look at it, unless you do these things, it is only going to make you move forward incremental, and you may lose certain opportunities that you're getting.
Thank you so much, General Dushyant.
I just have 2-3 points because everything has been told by the two good generals. So I'm the third one. What I wish to say is that MEA is understaffed. Military is badly located as far as their defense attaches are concerned. Imagine in a country A, I'm not naming these countries because subsequently there is a requirement of an army DA but he can. But there is a naval attaché there. He is not able to push the cases where we can actually export things to them or import things from there. So we lose out an option. Now, for a change, Indian Army has gone about unilaterally to have 20, 29 or 39 FSAs. Now they're being called as Foreign Service Attaches. So their whole name of Defense Attache has been changed to Foreign Service Attaches. They are being put through a rigorous drill training of what to do when they go there, what to expect, what we expect of them. And in this particular exercise, even I am involved in it. The first batch will come to me very soon. So we are going to collect these, ambassadors and other experts of the and defense experts, and try to put them through some kind of a, a primer. I would say just a exposure to what they should do there and how they should do their job. And this is one structural reform. There are many like this. There are hundreds of them. Amitabh Kant, I think 2-3 days back, mentioned about it. So I would say basically reforms, structural reforms is a must before we can ramp up, and critical technology that has to be addressed. If you cannot address the critical technology production, let me tell you, the supply chains are so badly complex of semiconductors and chips that one chap, if he misses the supply product, you're gone. You will not be able to produce a weapon system. That is the way. That is the major concern which we have. So I think semiconductors, chips is the area where we need to focus. Then you may be able to ramp.
Before we go to Q&A, I just would like to add one request of mine. Those who are born in India but have become citizens in other countries, India should find a way for them to get full citizenship of India back, especially in those countries where dual citizenship is allowed, for the simple reason that they went seeking opportunities and they would love to come back and contribute to their Janmabhoomi.
Good idea.
And that is the fastest way you can get these things done. Viewers, I'm telling you, every startup success story starts with 3 or 4 people who have very, very, very good talent, and they get something that is called as a VIP, very implementable product or something like that. I don't know. Minimum viable MVP, not minimum viable product. And once that comes, that's when people say, aha, these guys have solved a new problem, or that was not solved by anybody else. So that thing can be brought lock, stock and barrel. But the way things are now, I'm afraid we are still a little bit afraid to step in and do these things. And if given, especially semiconductors, 30 to 40% of the people who are running the big things in semiconductors are all of Indian origin, mostly from IITs, I might add. So the way that needs to be, that has to be fast tracked. I hope that somebody is listening from the PMO. This is not an idle request. It is an important one, and I think that needs to really be fast tracked. I hope something comes out of it. Sir, now we'll go to questions. Viewers, wherever you are, please like this video, whichever channel you're watching, Claus or Gunnershot or P Gurus, please like this video. We have a lot of questions, and I will request all the journalists to stay back maybe 15-20 minutes more, because we have a lot of questions. I've done a bit of pruning. Still, there are quite a few questions, starting with Babji Krishnan wants to know, dear generals, will you be able to describe your mindsets while leading men who are all highly motivated and highly trained on various operations? I think I'll ask all three to answer this, starting with General Dushyant this time.
Okay. When I go with my men with the intent of killing the enemy and achieving victory. Simple.
Ditto. I'll say ditto.
Just get the job done. As simple as that.
He is motivated, trained. You just have to motivate him for that mission, and thereafter the mission is very clear.
You have your resources.
It is not that I am fighting to die for my country. I am fighting to make the other person die for his country.
It is ruthless. And Arjun, Krishna has really taught us well on that. He's no more your brother, no more your neighbor.
Akash Krishan Tadani wants to know, sir, I take this opportunity to congratulate you on the setup, inauguration, and launch of the Agni Shodh, research cell in IIT Madras. May it bring synergies between operations and research. Viewers, I don't know how many of you watched it. I saw General Ravi Shankar, and I also saw in a few frames General Rajiv Narayanan. General Dushyant, were you also there in Chennai that day?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah,
I was there.
And he
I
was
was
very
there.
much
I
there for
think
the panel discussion also.
and my comments were only two major comments. One, it is a challenge, alternate challenge to DRDO, and challenges bring better of results. And the second, competition brings up a better result. And the second thing is, we need to be more tolerant to the startups. So what if they fail? If they fail, they will try again and again, and get you results.
Sirji, 10% is a success rate of startups. 10%, even in Silicon Valley.
That's what.
So we have to be very tolerant of that.
10% of any research is success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Startup is also doing a research work. And as long as you don't get it into the brain and not be a bania that I've invested so much money, I need profit, you can't do R&D with that.
Absolutely. No risk, no gains.
Geet Mohan, thank you so much. Gold money rest credit. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, gold backed stablecoin settled in the BRICS pay is the best solution against the USD debt currency. This is solicitation. Sorry about that. Next one, please. Totally out of topic.
I just clarify this. The Bureau of International Settlement, which is based in Switzerland, they had started work on something as a competition to SWIFT called Mbridge, where only currencies, digital currencies are used. And that is what was given to BRICS, and that is what is BRICS pay, which is from the Mbridge, where no currency is used. It is digitally transferred from country to country. And that is what Trump is scared of.
Some people say that all digital currency is another form of money laundering. So we can have a debate on that separately.
Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, digital currency is what I meant.
Cryptocurrency is the one which is dicey.
Next one, please. Sajid Kumar, thank you so much. Thanks to our Belagina Canada, I think I got the relationship between Congress and Raga. Ayogya Rally, Maha Ayogya.
I don't understand. So you will have to explain.
Yogya is a Sanskrit word, right?
Ayogya.
No, so it goes from there.
Okay. No, Yogya, I know, capable.
Right.
Ayogya is not capable, so he's not calling him Maha Ayogya.
Okay, he's taking him to the next level.
Yes. Sajid Kumar, thank you so much. Tariffs, positives. Modi's rating high. Negatives, 40 lakh jobs and livelihoods at stake. General Rajiv, what is Raj Dharma of an Rupa in this case? It's for you, General Rajiv.
Yeah, I don't understand what is an Rupa, but this is what we spoke about, what General Dushyant had mentioned, the short term where you got to protect these people.
Yes.
That is where is the most important part, and that is what we are looking out for. That what is the immediate protection that have been given to these people? You know, your garment exporter, your jewelry exporters, all these people who are doing the carpet exporters, diamond exporters. These are the jobs they've got to protect. So, how I'm sure the government would be on the job. So Raj Dharma is this. Raj Dharma in this case is to look after your interest, to protect the interest of your people. That is what is most important. People are most important.
Yashwant Rasana, this question is to General Ravi Shankar. What are the roadblocks in RIC? The Chinese media is calling it win-win partnership.
It's the
roadblock to RIC is China. There's nothing much to speak of. The biggest roadblock is China. Okay.
For them,
China will call it win-win. Like I told you, China will call it win-win because it's win-win for China. You see, when China calls it win-win, it's always win and win for China, not for others. Yeah.
I would only add here that what Trump has done today of breaking his trust with the most of the world. China has already done and dusted. He's broken
Long back,
trust
वो
with
तो
him.
pass master है इसमें.
Master.
Yeah, we have one more thing. About a week or 10 days back, I put out a video on RIC 2.0, the pros and cons and everything. Tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, it's going to be recast. So have a look at it. So you'll understand what's the problems of RIC.
General Dushyant, this is for you, sir. Has Trump been trapped by US deep state, which he himself wanted to overthrow?
What I know about Trump is that he listens to his advisors and comes back into his office and does just the opposite. So I don't know who has trapped whom, whether Trump has trapped the deep state or the deep state has trapped Trump. So
I'll
anything
just
is
add
possible
one
there.
thing. In Facebook, I have got a message in which the person had shared a newspaper clipping of a young Trump with his mother. And his mother is saying that I know he is an idiot and lacks common sense. I only hope he never joins politics.
But
Are you- are
did
you-
you
are
notice one interesting? Sir, go ahead, sir. I'll add later. Yeah.
Are you hinting beyond Trump also?
His mother is clearly saying, he is my son. I know this son of, I'm sure she didn't mention to anybody else. She said, this son of mine is an idiot and has no common sense. I hope he never joins politics. That is what she said.
Chalo. Good luck.
It's a newspaper cutting. It's a newspaper cutting shared.
Let's go to the next question, please. Akshar wants to know. Thank you, Akshar. The Q is whether we can survive like in 1998, but instead can we thrive? Can we grow to reach parity with US and China, given that both incumbent hegemons are negatively predisposed towards us? General Rajiv.
Yeah. So, firstly, China is nowhere what it was, what you think it is. It's in a terminal collapse, and they don't know what to do. So, China is done and dusted. And if you listen to Jeffrey Sachs and the others, they're already telling US is also on the decline, and what he has done is going down. So you are the one on the cusp about to rise, and that is why we said you got to do those changes and all to be able to grasp this opportunity, the long-term opportunity that you have. Please remember, this is the one window that you have. You have got the geo-economic, geopolitical, and geostrategically you are being given the opportunity. USA didn't get it. USA got the geo-economic first, after the Second World War, and geopolitical and geostrategic, they got it only in 1956 in the Suez Canal crisis time when they sided with Egypt, and Britain and France realized that they could not stand up to the Americans, and that is when the crown was passed on from Great Britain to the US. You have this window today available to you, all three together. Unless you do these reforms that we have said, whether it is the economic reforms, fiscal reforms, your military reforms, your MEA reforms, you're not going to be able to catch it. You won't have the boots to do it. You won't have the time to get those grasp that opportunity. It is for us what we do. The question of thriving depends on us, not anybody else. These two can't do anything to you to block your rise.
Next one, please. This is for General Rajiv. I'm sorry, General Ravi Shankar. Gold money reset rest credit wants to know gold and silver gaining reserve asset status in central banks. Gold already surpassed euro. I think euro. Net trade balance between countries will be settled by gold stable coins on BRICS pay versus click debt currencies. He's making this more like a statement. General Ravi Shankar, this is just basically asset-based currencies now. That seems to be the new trend.
This is all in dreamland so far. So this won't affect the nation's future. I don't think this is the way forward. This might be the way forward after 50 years. And this, like you said, this chap is more of a, he's selling his own thing. I don't think we should answer this.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Stay on. This question comes to you, General Ravi Shankar, again. Ashish wants to know the export basket, which is under 50% sanction, can be consumed by India internally or exported to China or EU. Alternatives.
Yeah. See, it can't be. You can't consume clothing and jewelry and all that. These are the ones which are going to go abroad.
Yeah.
China won't take it. China
has to be
itself,
They want to give.
they want to
has to be
give,
a mix.
right? So you have to go to EU, you have to go to Middle East, you have to go to East Asia, you have to go to other places, and these will take a hit because US is a major consumer of these goods. Others are not, can't consume. You see, you have to understand. If you want to export anything, someone has to consume. Today in the world, there's a glut of export. Who are the ones who consume? The people. There are only three places in the world which consume today. One is USA, the second is India, and third is EU. Okay, part of EU, not all of EU.
Not
The
all.
rest are all not there. The rest are all not are marginal consumers. And if you want to get your own export out, who's there to take it? US is shutting its markets to you, and it's not going to be so great. EU, you have some hope, but how much will they offtake? Right? Others are also part of the same. They're selling the same basket, so you have to do it yourself. So certain sectors will get hit. That is why the reform is important. Unless you reform these sectors and make things easier for them, they can't thrive. So you have to do a lot of things. You can't say that no, I'll do the same thing as before, and I'll get different results. No, it will not happen.
Next question, please. Akash Tishan Tadani. This is for you, General Dushan. Trump personifies the golden boy in a narcissist golden boy scapegoat flying monkey's quadrilateral. He's no more than a projection of the narcissist. Your view, sir?
Okay, I think this question is more of a perception. I would say that maybe he's just trying to, in his own ways, make America great again through trade. I think trade is his fixation, and that is the best thing which he knows. War is his fear, for which he wants to, stop all war, which is not able to do. So therefore, there is some amount of chaos and confusion in his mind. Let us see how much he continues with this kind of a narcissist behavior.
Dinesh Allahabadia, thank you so much. Sir, do Hyperloop, bullet train, quantum computing, etc. have Indian technology? Are we just going 1960 Parkway of just importing stuff, development hooks pointed by mid-lower engineers and projects? Comments. General Rajiv.
Hyperloop, IIT where we are, we've just proved it at 500 meters. Railways is going to take it up and doing it. So that is already proof of concept. 500 meters in the Thayyur complex has been done. Bullet train we are doing. You can see the technologies in Vande Bharat. These are all homegrown. Quantum computing, I'll only say the armed forces are doing the trials. The government had made a statement. I don't know officially, no, but the message had come out that they're going to lay out the quantum communication for the military by start laying out by 2028, and from 2030 onwards for the civil critical infrastructure. So without quantum computing, one of the biggest in the world, has already been made in Bangalore by a private player. So we are not going by the Parkway. Thank you. Pakistan, like the oil field, ExxonMobil came to a 2020 and they left in 2011 because they dug over 5,000 meters in multi of places. They found no oil. This man has not, his advisors have not opened their own files to see what has gone on.
Yes.
Same area is now being sold to the new solid of.
I remember when I was doing staff college, so this area was again propped up as oil reserves, this and that. They did a lot of exploration. Same Pakistan they found nothing. I think as far as quantum computing, I just wanted to add here that as far as software goes, I think we are the superpower as of now. So don't bother about that. Problem is the hardware where we have to really stick our neck
I
out.
think, if I'm not mistaken, a 12-bit qubit quantum computer has been made by a private company in Bangalore. I think the PM or somebody had gone there and inaugurated that. It's more than 2-3 months ago.
Yeah,
6
so
months
our
ago.
encryption and all is quite good. So That basically quantum will be used for encryption, AI, and these like
cracking, decryption, and yeah.
Yeah. But the only problem with the quantum today is the qubit needs to be maintained at a particular temperature. So because of that, the size becomes big, which is what it used to be with computers in the early 50s.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
certain it's not going to take so much of time what a normal computer took from a whole room to come to a desktop. I'm sure within the next 10 years, this will come into a desktop today.
it's on a palm top, sir. Nowadays, it's in
In the 1950s, when the first computer, ENIAC, electronic numerical integrator and calculator, this was in Philadelphia. Every time they turned the thing on, the light for the entire city would flicker. That is the amount of power ENIAC used to consume. So,
and you had that punching job cards in order to put
yes.
you punched your job card and you put it.
That's how I learned my programming, Sirji. That's how I learned my programming in Fortran, formula translation language. Next one, please. Akshay, thank you so much. What if US stops GE 414 jet engines for Tejas? General Dushan.
Well, if they stop, we have to look for alternatives. That's as simple as that.
I thought already the alternate was lined up. Saffron
is there, but again, the saffron is there, and there is one more of the UK also, Rolls-Royce. So we are looking at these things, and the Russians, of course.
But are these two alternate crystal blade?
You have to see the compatibility with the machine and the
that too.
Yeah.
Are they crystal blade technology?
I will have to check. I don't know. I am not aware of it.
General Rajiv, General Ravi Shankar?
Yeah, most of these are that.
At the moment, they're all crystal blade.
They're all crystal.
I would say the problem will be for GE.
No, I'm talking of the Russian one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All jet engines of that variety.
It is already in talks, and they are opening up a plant out here to make it here.
That's Su-57.
Which tells you the desperation of GE that they need this.
Defense industry of US is totally out. All their orders, etc., are only with India. So unless they provide these things, they will not be able to survive. I think he will do exceptions. Just a pharma, a thing like pharma has got an exception. Electronics have got an exception. GE will also get an exception. That's the way I look at it.
Next question, please. Jagdish Yellappu, thank you so much for your super sticker. Next one. Teja Mysore, this is for General Ravi Shankar. Sir, unpopular opinion. We have very high tariffs, a hangover from protectionism policies. We should reduce tariffs and encourage more competition to force our companies to be globally. Yeah, this is what the whole talk was about, reforms. That's badly needed.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing we should be very clear. The world's highest protectionist tariffs, which is available protectionism for their agriculture and dairy, is US. Most of their agriculture and dairy product are sold below cost price. No wonder you have such high tariffs on them. So these high tariffs will not go till US doesn't reduce their tariffs.
Next one, please. Thank you so much, Gold Money. Let's go to the next one, please.
Again, is the same thing.
Yeah, when Modi says he's aware that he may have to pay a personal price, is he hinting that he may be facing danger to his life? General Rajiv.
I have no clue what he meant by that. Personal price can be political also.
Political.
Yeah.
It's more political.
I think it would be political.
Political.
It would be more political.
And I personally feel it's more a political statement.
Yeah, he said, it doesn't matter what happens to me, I'll do the right thing. I think it's that.
I think it may lead to rise in prices, etc. Exporters getting dissatisfied, starting some kind of a public protest. So there he might find some, headwinds. So maybe he gets a pressure to resign or relinquish or whatever it is. Could be anything.
What about Quad? Does it still hold? General Ravi Shankar.
It's a question mark. As of today, it's a big question mark.
So I only say I don't know why people talk so much of Quad or BRICS.
What is it giving us?
Essentially, there is no secretariat.
Yeah.
grouping like this has value if it has a secretariat and starts functioning. Where is the secretariat for BRICS and where is the secretariat for Quad? Quad, the last key is still dialogue only.
And yeah, and really speaking, what has been the outcome?
Nothing.
Now,
Zero.
outcome or no
General-
outcome, there's a question mark on it.
Put
No,
that
Whatever
question.
it is, there's a huge question mark on it.
People have
Generals,
started
another
negotiating.
10,
People have started
Another
negotiating
10
individually now.
That's okay. We'll
They've
go through.
started
Don't worry.
negotiating individually.
Yes.
What countries have started negotiating individually with each other? I don't think they see any future in this.
Sir, if you will please extend it for another 15 minutes, I think we may be able to go through the majority of
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's
questions.
okay. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Saurabh. Trump brain has two parts, left and right. In left side, there is nothing right.
Nothing right.
And in right side, there is nothing left.
Nice one.
It will be a good cartoon material.
Sachin Khandelwal, thank you so much. IAS, brass and judiciary were set up to keep common Hindus subjugated. Till date, they continue propagating West's agenda. This is enemy number one. Point taken. Sachin again, replace the rotten setup with grounded professionals, unshackle the military as an independent constitutional arm and trust them. See, this is where the NRIs who want to come back in their 40s and 50s would like to help, because they have attained a certain status in terms of financial stability. And it's just that thing that, we want to do something for the Janmabhoomi. Our success we owe to our Janmabhoomi, our values that were taught. It's nothing else. That's where the formative years were spent. So that would help it. Sir, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you questions because these are all
No.
more
Go
like
ahead, please.
common
Go ahead.
sense.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Take
Yeah.
cuts.
Next one, please.
Again, that's his comment.
Sachin again, thank you. The reform that the generals are discussing will never be allowed by IAS brass and judiciary coterie. Modi is also manipulated by them.
I don't agree with this. Let's be very clear. I don't agree with this statement. I think we are giving them too much to our IAS brass and judiciary, who are obstructionists. First and foremost, they are not fools. None of them are fools. They are also
Creme
Indian.
de la creme. These are the
Yeah.
creme de la creme.
No,
Yeah.
they'll do. You see, given the situation we are in, everyone will rise up to the situation. Let's be very clear about it. I'm sure there are many of us who support Mr. Modi. Whether we like him or not is a different story. Whether I with him or not, otherwise is a different story. Today we are in a crisis, and in this crisis, we should stand by our Prime Minister and for what is mentioned. And I'm sure there are people in the IAS and the judiciary who will stand. I have faith in our people. That's what I wanted to put across.
Okay. Next one, Prasad wants to know, will there be any after effects with Indian jobs in USA and India due to this spat with Trump? This is to where was I? General Dushan.
Yeah, it will have an impact if it continues the way it is going on. I think there is no denial on that. People will take hit. There is no second thought about it.
Akshar, thank you again. Trump only hastened and brought to the fore the India-US confrontation that was already imminent in 10-20 years in the future. Your thoughts, General Ravi Shankar?
I don't think so. I don't think it's so. I feel that, this guy, like someone said, we don't know what's in his left or right or whether it's there or not. So he's wired differently. So he's actually, he's destroyed the whole construct. We might have got into this situation 20 years hence, but who knows 20 years hence, we should not think. He's just done. He's just blown up a lot of bridges. You step back from India and see he's blown up a lot of bridges with the world. I think America is in for a lot of introspection as a whole. America has to introspect whether they are there or not. So let's see how it goes.
Next one, please. Thought provocateur, thank you so much. Can never trust US unless they bend over backwards. I don't think they are going to ever bend over backwards.
Bend over, keep it transactional.
Yeah.
Why should you be overly friendly with anybody? See, what Lord Palmerston had mentioned in the 19th century. There are no permanent friends or permanent enemies. What is permanent is your national interest. If your national interest, be transactional and do what is in your national interest. Why should you go to that level?
Thank you, Somit. Today, GOI notified NRIs can open INR bank account in their foreign country. Yeah, I think in select foreign countries where I think UPI is allowed, there are some provisions available. Yes, thank you. And Pushkar, thank you so much, sir. What do you China? What do you? How do you see China in future as a power? General
Lost.
Dushyant.
Well, see, China will remain relevant. It's not that you can write off China. It is the number two economy. It has some heft, but it will start losing its grip as time goes by. You see, most of its projects are floundering now today, whether they are international projects or whether they are internal projects. But till that happens, till their decline becomes permanent, they will be a force to reckon with. Don't write them off. That's my view.
Thank you, Avinash Nair. I think. What steps can BRICS take forward? Uh, uh, what steps can BRICS take forward towards de-dollarization and promote trade in local currency? General Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, I don't think BRICS can do anything. Let's be very clear. De-dollarization is not going to happen. It's a dream, even now. Because there's no alternate to dollar. Which is that currency you'll trust. Do you trust yuan? Rupee is very weak. Ruble is not existent. South Africa, I don't know what this currency is also. Okay. The Brazil currency is not, so there's no alternate. The only alternate to the dollar is EU. Even that is far away. So let's not live in this hypothetical world where you'll see dollar going away. Yeah, from being 97%, it might come to 96% utility. That's about all.
Avinash Nair, thank you. And developer Kapeli. I think Kapeli or Kapei.
Kapei.
Thank you so much for your generous donation. Hope this motivates Indian tech giants to get off their rears and shift gears from body shops to core R&D.
Yes, why not?
More
It's a
than
wake-up
tech giants,
call, why
I would
not?
say are big companies.
Yeah.
Sir, if you look
Why
at
not?
HCL, right? HCL, all the people who were in that, they went on to start new companies. And they've been very successful. Nadar was, of course, the CEO, but all of them have gone on and done other things very successfully. Somit, thank you so much for your donation. Why can't we stop IIT students from settling abroad and stop brain drain? General Rajiv, your turn, sir.
Provide the same type of environment here, they will stay here, and quite a lot of them are staying here now.
We should
And
not force
give
anything.
them the same environment. Those are the reforms that we need. That environment has to be given. Then they'll work. And see, if I'm out from IIT, I'd like to work in a lab. Do we follow the similar concept? Do our private companies sponsor labs for R&D? 0.6% is what they put in R&D. All your big companies, whether you take Tatas, Mahindras, and all these people, 0.6%. What is 0.6% in R&D? Which are the labs that they are funding and saying you'll do my research work? These are the labs. Which are your biotech labs or any other of these labs being given money and funding and working with them? Where are you funding startups? Startups is also an R&D only. Where are you? Which are these companies coming in? Here we are still talking about government increasing the money. Why? What is this private sector doing, sitting on God knows billions and billions of dollars? That is the environment I'm talking about. Build that environment. The IIT student will stay here, do his masters here, do his PhD here, do his postdoctoral research here, and keep bringing you technology with somebody with the application side can see that this can be used. Then I find it a bit difficult for people to stay there.
Next one, please. Thought provocateur. Thank you so much. Biden admin was on autopilot and Trump on taco pilot. Next one, Srinath 267. Generals and Sriji, Looks like Bharatiyas hold the second largest BTC reserves after US. What are your thoughts on it? Is it true, General Rajiv?
What is BTC reserve?
Bitcoin.
BTC, what? Oh,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
No clue. I have no clue because as far as Bitcoin is concerned, it is illegal. You can't do
Yes,
trading
yes.
in India on Bitcoins.
But the Indians do trade in it, so there
They
are a
do
lot of.
trade, so there will be no official statement to
I
confirm.
what I gathered was Pakistanis were ninth or so in the Bitcoin thing, and we
It
were
is
further
also
behind.
illegal in Pakistan. Officially
Last time,
illegal.
yeah,
It is
last time when
also
I checked
officially
up,
illegal in Pakistan.
yeah, last time when I checked up, they were beyond. I mean, India was beyond the 10th position. So we also have a
There are a lot
Bitcoin.
of people in India who do trading, but they do it with outside platforms. It is officially illegal. You
Half
can't
of
trade.
them are underhand. Underhand. Half of them are illegal. Although
Yes.
DR MPC, thank you so much. Sir, this is for General Ravi Shankar. Sir, do we have
The same point you mentioned, sir. It's the same point you mentioned.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thanks for reading it ahead of me. Next one. Gold mine, thank you so much. Next question, please. Oh, was it a genuine question there? Maybe. Arun Paji, thank you for becoming a member. And that brings us to a close of today's program. What a session we had, almost 1.5 hours. Thank you so much, Generals, for being patient with me and extending it for another half an hour. Once again, looking forward to seeing you all in a week's time. Thanks. Namaskar.
thank you, sir. Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.